अस्सलामु अलैकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। या रब्बी लकल हम्दु कमा यंबगी लिजलाली वजहिका व अज़ीमी सुल्तानिक। अल्लाहुम्मा रब्बना लकल हम्दु बिमा खलक़तना व रज़क़तना व हदैतना व फ़र्रजता अन्ना। अल्लाहुम्मा लकल हम्दु बिल इस्लाम व लकल हम्दु बिल ईमान व लकल हम्दु बिल कुरान। अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। रब्बना ज़िदना इल्मा। अल्लाहुम्मा फ़क्किहना फ़िद्दीन। अल्लाहुम्मा हासिबना हिसाबन यसीरा। अल्लाहुम्मा थब्बितना इंदल मौती बिला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन। रब्बी यस्सिर वला तुअस्सिर व तम्मिम बिल खैर। अल्लाहुम्मा जअल अमलना कुल्लहु सालिहन वजअलहु लिवजहिका खालिसन वला तजअल लिअहदिन फीहि शै'a। आमीन या रब। So, inshallah, we are going to do ayah number 26 today. It's a big ayah, so that's why I chose only one ayah. And before we go there, last time we were working on this dua, beautiful dua, different variations I showed you, and this is how you are going to memorize, so you know that you can say this dua for one person. If you want to say one person, which is singular and male, then you're gonna say Allahumma ghfir lahu warhamhu wa'afihi wa'fu anhu. If you are saying for a woman, single woman, then you're gonna say Allahumma ghfir laha. So you're gonna use the pronoun laha for it. Allahumma ghfir laha warhamha wa'afiha wa'afu anha. If you are saying for two people, let's say you are asking for your parents, right? So you're gonna say Allahumma ghfir lahuma. So this huma, you male or female both can be included in it. So Allahumma ghfir lahuma warhamhuma wa'afihima wa'fu anhuma, right? And notice that in Allahumma fir lahuma, right? We are saying huma, warhamhuma, but when it comes to afi, right? We are saying afi hima, and that is like it's nothing different over here. Just the thing is that for the fluency purpose, we are saying afi hima. If I say afi huma, that's gonna be heavy on the tongue. That is not going to be very fluent and smooth on the tongue, so that's why this change has been made over here. And then wa'afu anhuma, right? And then even we can say this dua for group of people. We go for Umrah and Hajj and we see every salah there are multiple janazas, right? So at that time we're gonna say Allahumma gfir lahum, right? Or even at my place, if I'm asking dua for all my grandparents and whoever my loved ones have passed, right? So I can use this. So Allahumma gfir lahum warhamhum wa'afihim wa'fu anhum. So that was our last class, and inshallah at the end of the class I'm gonna ask you guys to recite that. Moving on, today the next part is wa akrim nuzulahu. Wa akrim nuzulahu. Wa akrim nuzulahu. What does that mean? Akrim mean that you show nobility. The name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Kareem, is from the same root letter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Kareem. He is honorable. He is noble, right? All these meanings. And when we say akrim, this is a fail. And what kind of fail? We are making dua. When we make dua, when we make a request, that is also a fail. So we are saying akrim. So we are requesting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you honor. Wa akrim, and you honor. You honor nuzulahu. Nuzulahu, nuzul. In Quran Pak, we will see a lot. Nuzulan. Nuzulan, it is used one time. And I don't know if other versions are being used. Nuzul, right? Nuzul literally mean revelation, we say, because this is descending, right? And the idea of nuzul is coming from, back then when these musafir, the travelers, when they were traveling through camels. So, the horses or camel, when they are walking, you can see from a distance because the sand or dust is in the air. So when these, subhanallah, these Arab people, they used to be very hospitable. So when they saw someone is coming, and this person is musafir, he is traveler, so what they used to do, they start preparing for his, to entertain him. So they bring water, and they, when he is closer, then he make him get down from his camel, and then they offer water, make him wash his face, because back then travel, we can imagine how hard it would be. So that thing, that's why it is called nuzul, because they are basically making him descend. So from that, and in Quran Pak, we see nuzul is used, that basically the very first reception. And when, okay, let me explain nuzul first before we go to for memorizing. So nuzul is reception. We receive our guest, right? And imagine our beloved, someone from far, some beloved one is coming, right? So how do we prepare for them? I think from a month we start preparing, right? We are cleaning our house thoroughly. We are preparing their room, right? And when there is a day when they are coming, we welcome them nicely. When we go to airport, right, with flowers and all that stuff, right? We bring them home, right? And even when we bring them home, we are offering them first yummy drinks, right? And then appetizer, big meals, our crockeries. We are having our formal crockery, right? And then variety of meal, variety of desserts, all that stuff. Even their room is intact, sparkly clean, well organized, bed is well prepared, right? So this is how we show our hospitality to our guest. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does the same thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honor the souls that are righteous in a very different way. So what happened when a soul passed, and this soul was the righteous one? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent beautiful angels to receive this soul. So when this person is passing and he was the righteous one, just by looking at the angels, he would know that what is his end result. Is he going to be the person of Jannah or hellfire? Right? Because when the people of like these beautiful angels are coming, and they are bringing a shroud of Jannah, and this shroud is very fragrant, right? So this person even can smell it, right? Smell the shroud, and he can see the beautiful angels. right? And when they take the soul of that person, then they go to the heavens. And every heaven, we have 7 heavens, right? So on every heaven, they knock the door, and there is a very like strong security over there. No one can go and come within heavens. So they are being asked that who are you? So they mention that we are this, and then they say, okay, who is with you? And then they mention, and they mention with the beautiful names, like someone was very into charity. So they're gonna say that the person who used to do a lot of charity, right? Or the person who used to do a lot of fasting. So they're gonna name it Saim. Or if we have been given some good names from the people of the world, right? If someone is very generous, so we might go, oh, he's Ghani, right? So they are going to call with the beautiful names to this soul. Subhanallah, right? So, and even in the grave, then, okay, so they keep going on. Every door they knock, and every heaven is opened, and the same drill is happening, right? They are being welcomed, and unfortunately, uh, the soul that is not righteous, or the evil soul, even the first door is not going to be open on them, right? First of all, the evil, first of all, the ugly or very drowny faces of angels gonna come to get this soul. And we know that how they're gonna take the soul out, because this soul does not want to come out of the body, right? So they just snatch it, and that is very tough and hard. Subhanallah, may Allah save us from such things and make us righteous soul. So, and for the evil soul, when the first door is not even being opened for them, because when they say, okay, this is this and this, they say, no, he is like a very foul smell is coming from their soul, and the door is not going to be opened. And for the soul that is righteous, it says that for 40 days, the earth and the sky weep on them. They cry on that soul. So the earth cry, why? Because this soul used to do sajda, used to pray, used to do good deeds, right? So the spot he used to do sajda, that place gonna cry for this person. Subhanallah, right? So this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honor. So first of all, a great welcome to the heavens. Secondly, in the grave, right? So in the grave, when he is being put over there, you know that a grave for righteous people, it extends, right? So وَوَسِّ مُدْخَلَهُ, that is the second part. So we are making dua that, oh Allah, you, we know the Urdu speaker know the word wasi, right? Wasi means kushada, spacious. So we are saying that, oh Allah, the place of his entering, or his entrance, we can say, right? So his entrance, meaning his grave, make his grave spacious, right? So we know that a grave can be very tight place, or it could be very spacious. So for the righteous one, it's gonna be very spacious, and even a window is going to be open, and through this window, this person would be able to see his place in Jannah, his house in Jannah. And then he gonna request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that let the Qiyamah happen now, today, because he is desperate to go into his house. Subhanallah. And opposite is the case for evil soul. This soul does not want to want that day of judgment established, because this person can see his ending. So may Allah make us among the people who are going to be received with honor, and their space, their grave is going to be a spacious place and a place of Jannah, inshallah. So wa akrim nuzul lahu. So this is nuzul. And again, different variation we can do, right? So if we are asking for one person, we're going to say wa akrim nuzulahu wa wasi' mudkhalahu, right? And for two people, I'm going to say, no, sorry, for the woman, I'm going to say wa akrim nuzulaha, wa akrim nuzulaha wa wasi' mudkhalaha. And if they are two people, I'm going to say wa akrim nuzulahuma wa wasi' mudkhalahuma. And if I'm asking for everyone, for big group, I'm going to say wa akrim nuzulahum wa wasi' mudkhalahum. Right? So we need to memorize with the correct pronunciation, with good understanding. We are not doing just lip service, rather we are understanding it, feeling it. Because today, if we are going to make du'as for other people, then tomorrow someone is going to pray for us, right? Imagine a janaza where people are not able to even say these du'as. Subhanallah, I feel so bad when there is janaza and no one knows that what we are doing. Subhanallah. This is so sad for the ummah. So we should make some effort to memorize these du'as and make your kids memorize these du'as. So they make, when we pass, when we die, when we pass away, then they should be able to make these du'as for us. So that was the dua. And for the pronouns, I'm going to just stick to whatever we have done last class. We're not going to move on because I already took long for this dua. So what were the pronoun for our last class? Huwa has a version of who, that is the cousin of this huwa, right? Who, and this who can be attached with either ism or a fail. If it is attached with a ism, then the translation would be his. And if it is attached with a fail, the translation would be him. That is the difference to be noted, right? When I say kitabuhu, I'm saying his book. Kalamuhu, his book, right? So that is basically showing a possession. But when it is attached with a fail, nasara, he helped who? He helped him, right? So this is basically the object or the receiver of the action, basically, right? So that's why these are not interchangeable. I cannot use his in place of him, or him in place of his, right? So that is also good to know. So who, we have huma, then we have whom, and this is all for masculine. Then we have ha, huma, and hunna, and this is for female, right? So we need to memorize who, huma, whom, and ha, huma, hunna. Who, huma, whom, ha, huma, hunna. That's all for today. And now we can come on our ayah number 26. And Soha, go ahead.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna, indeed, Allah, Allah, la, not, yastahi, shy, an, to, yadriba, set forth, mathalan, an example, ma, even, ba'udatan, a mosquito, fama, and even something, fawqaha, above it, fa'ama, then as for, allazina, those who, amanu, believed, faya'lamuna, they know, annahu, that it, al-haqqu, is the truth, min, from, rabbihim, their Lord, wa amma, and as for, allazina, those who, kafaru, disbelieved, fayaquluna, they say, maza, what, arada, did intend, Allahu, Allah, bihaza, by this, mathala, example, yudullu, he lets go astray, bihi, by it, kathiran, many, wayahdi, and he guides, bihi, by it, kathiran, many, wama, and not, yudullu, he lets go astray, bihi, by it, illa, except, al-fasiqina, the defiantly disobedient.
Barakallah feeki. Jazakallah khairan kaseera. So, what is this ayah doing? This is our very first example in Quran Pak. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives lots of examples in Quran Pak. And all these examples are important, right? So over here, the very first example is saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is la yastahi, and he never shy. He never shy about what? That he give example, mathalan, example of what? Of ba'udatan. Ba'udatan is mosquito. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not shy to give any example, even it could be the example of a mosquito, right? So mosquito we know as a very insignificant insect, right? And in Quran Pak we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used the example of small insects, fly, even mosquito, or even a nahl, right? The honeybee, and all these examples are there. So then there was a objection, there was a criticism on Quran Pak by kuffar, that why is that so? You guys say that this is the kalam, this is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the creator of everything. So how come he is using using very small, insignificant creature, mentioning them in Quran Pak? How is it possible, right? So basically, this is the jawab, or the jawab of their criticism. Basically, we are getting over here. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not shy to give any example, and even it could be the example of ba'udatan, or fama fawqaha, or even above it. Above it could be many different meanings. We will see that inshallah. Okay, I forgot to show you guys that how in this ayah you can see our fail, isms, and all that stuff, right? So la yastahi is a fail. All these green are afal. So yastahi, yadriba, amanu, fayalamuna, kafaru, fayaquluna, yudillu, yahdi, right? Or these are basically afal. And since we are talking about pronoun as well, so what are the pronoun in this ayah? Fawqaha, right? So this ha is being used over here, and which is referring to ba'uda, right? If you guys remember me, I think I mentioned that whenever we see anything ending on ta marbuta in Arabic, it is basically considered feminine, right? So that's why a feminine ha pronoun is being used with that. And then rabbihim, their Rabb, right? So again, we can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is basically making them close to him. And who are they? Those who declare, those who have conviction that whatever is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this Quran Pak, even though these small examples, they are all full of truth. They have a purpose, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed them uh, uh, like uh, he is showing that they are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So Rabbihim, their Rabb, and mm, and then the rest of all these blues are basically uh, uh, they are haruf. Not all of them. I forgot to for the haruf, if I start doing for everything, that's gonna be very hard. Even the word Allah is basically supposed to be ism over here. So anyway, these are basically these are our damair over here, pronouns over here, fawqaha, rabbihim, bihi. We need to get used to it because that is going to help us translate or understand the ayah better. So indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, la yastahi, he does not shy, ay yadriba, that he gives, masalan, even Urdu, we use this word misal, right? So he gave any example, and it could be even the example of ba'udwa, a mosquito, and even fama fawqaha, even the smaller than any other example, which can be on a smaller scale than this bauda, or even bigger scale on bauda, right? So fawqaha has different meanings. Inshallah, we are going to see that in a bit. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, fa amma lazina amanu, those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is their attitude? How they whenever they are reciting Quran Pak, when they are exposed to Quran Pak, when they are listening to any command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is their attitude? فَيَعْلَمُونَ, they know what? Anna, who. So this who over here again, pronoun, right? And this is singular one. So this singular one should be referring whenever we see a pronoun in Quran Pak, right? So they are supposed to refer to something before it. And even in any language, right? Pronouns always refer to someone. So this who is referring to either this example, right? The example of this mosquito, or it could be referring to even Quran, right? So they know that this is no doubt about it. Anna and Inna is basically they clear out any doubt. So they do not have any doubt. So they know that indeed this is the haq. Then haq can be one thing is haq mean truth, right? The other meaning of haq mean for the purpose, right? So everything in the Quran, everything said by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? This is done out of purpose. So annahul haqqu, this is the haq, this is out of purpose, right? Mir rabbihim, and no doubt about it that this is from their Rabb. And then what is the other attitude? Wa ammal lazina kafaru, opposite attitude is for those who reject, right? They are not believers. What is their attitude? Fayaquluna, they would say, what they would say, maza mean what? This is for question. Maza arada, we know the word irada, right? Same word. So Maza arada Allah, what is the intention of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Bihaza mathala, with this example, by giving this example, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mean? Right? So basically this is another way to criticize. Actually they are criticizing, right? So bihaza masala, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that yudillu has huwa in it. He, which is referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yudillu bihi kasiran, with that, which could refer to this example, or even it could refer to Quran, right? So with this example or Quran can misguide, rather Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala misguide, and then we have another pronoun be he, with it or by it, right? So this he could be referring to misal, or it could be referring to Quran. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that by this Quran or by these examples, he can mislead many, right? Because their attitude is such, right? Because they do not want to believe, or they do not have respect. They want to just do criticism for the criticism, right? Their mindset is not to submit. So if they are in such a behavior, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in their need, that he does not need them, right? So he is going to let them go misguided. So yudillu bihi kasiran, and on the other hand, vayahdi bihi kasira. With the same example, with the same Quran, other could be guided, right? Quran is same, examples are same. So this is the mindset, that who is going to get guidance out of it, and who is going to get misguidance out of it. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Wama yudillu. Wama yudillu, he does not misguide. So we cannot say that, okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to misguide this person, so this is how it is. So we do not have nothing to do, right? People unfortunately says that if Allah, everything is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he want to, if he want to misguide someone, right? So no one can guide him, even he cannot guide himself, right? But that comes out of attitude. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to misguide someone just for the sake of like he want to. Rather, their attitude is such, right? So that is going to lead Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, okay, I can leave your leash open, go ahead. If you want to choose this path, then I do not want to guide you as well, right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even in Quran Pak says that if he wants to guide, he would have guided each and every human being on the earth. But he has given us a free will, right? So Wama yudillu, he does not misguide by Quran, illa, except fasikin, those who are fasik. And we will see that who are fasik. So that is basically this ayah. And now let's see the detail. So indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not shy to present an example of a mosquito or anything above it, or even smaller than it, right? This verse teaches us nothing in creation is too small to be used as an example. The more science discovers about tiny creatures like a mosquito, the more evident that remarkable complexity becomes, right? So we will see that the small, insignificant creatures, how even they have, subhanallah, such a role in our environment and in our ecosystem, and everything is important. They are there for a purpose, right? And we will be surprised by seeing that how, subhanallah, a small creature, but what a marvelous creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what is the background of this ayah? The background of this ayah was that the disbeliever and hypocrites, they were objecting that why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned these insignificant creature in Quran Pak, like the fly, the spider, the bee, or mosquito. So this is the answer of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He is not shy to give any example, even the smaller, like on a smaller scale or on a bigger scale, right? So now I put some facts about mosquito, which are very surprising, and subhanallah, these small creatures, we think that this is so insignificant, but their facts, subhanallah, it tells that this is the marvelous creation. So I'm gonna ask Soha. Soha, can you please go through these slides for me?
Okay. Yeah, so the first fun fact is even though they're small, they're only a couple millimeters in size and they weigh 2 milligrams, they still have like a fully functioning brain, nervous system, and they have very complex eyes. They're full compound eyes and they have lots of lenses and units. You can see in the little diagram there. They have 6 legs and wings that flap like 100 times per second. And they can move up to 2 kilometers per hour, which is pretty amazing considering their size. And they have a sophisticated mouth called proboscis, which has like a couple different specialized features that we talk in the one of the other facts. So the second fun fact is not all mosquitoes feast on human blood. Only the female mosquito bite people since they need protein to produce eggs. And male mosquitoes, they just have like a nectar and plant sugar diet. The third fun fact is explaining how mosquitoes extract blood from humans. So its specialized mouth has like different parts that can first cut through the skin, then find blood vessels, and then also it has like anticoagulants in its saliva to prevent clotting while it's drinking our blood. So scientists like entomologists, bioengineers, medical researchers all kind of look at this process and the mosquito's specialized uh, mouth to study like how to improve needles for humans.
Subhanallah.
And also they can sense humans from pretty far away by detecting carbon dioxide and body heat or like our sweat chemicals and smell. So using those, it can like tell, okay, this person's coming this way. And they also undergo like a full metamorphosis cycle. So they go from their eggs to larva, multiple stages there, then a pupa, and then they finally become an adult. This takes about 1 to 2 weeks. And they're actually like studied quite a bit, which makes sense because they transmit a lot of different diseases like malaria, dengue fever, yellow fever, Zika virus, West Nile fever, and they do pretty complex things for to our blood cells. So scientists continue to study their biology to develop better prevention treatments.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. And these are the pictures over here. And subhanallah, many people, I think it says that the death happened by mosquito is more than by any other disease. right? So subhanallah, look at how like complex system it is having, and how subhanallah it's literally a marvelous creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even we did not mention its share in the ecosystem, right? So they are playing a role in the ecosystem as well. So another ayah in Quran Pak talk about fly, right? So I put little information about, not information like about that fly as well, because this is very interesting ayah over here. It says, Ya Yohanna, so O mankind, Duriba mathalun fastami'u lahu. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving an example again, fastami'u lahu. So subhanallah, fastami'u mean like pay attention, pay your full attention to it. So that is basically can be command that whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us any example, we need to fully focus, we need to do our tadabbur on it. So that's why I put all that stuff over here, because whenever whatever is being mentioned, we need to ponder over it, right? And this is not even enough. You can, during this week, you can ponder on these ayat, and you can further discover about mosquito flies and bees and whatever these insects are being mentioned, because this is the part of the tadabbur. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Fastami'u lahu, so listen to it very carefully. And what is that? Inna lazina, those, tad'una, they call, so they call min dunillahi, other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those who call tad'una, to those min dunillahi, other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, lan yakhluqu, which is basically referring to that people go to graves or they call to idols, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, talking about these idols over here. Lan yakhluqu from khalaqa, so they never created Zubaban, even a fly. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you are calling upon them, right? Thinking that they can fulfill our needs, right? But look at the reality that they are not even able to create even a single fly. In last class, we were talking about a challenge. What was the challenge? That create an ayah, right? The whole Quran or 10 ayah, 10 surahs, and then it came to just one surah or one ayah. Subhanallah, right? Now over here we are saying another challenge. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that they are not even able to create a single fly. And this is one thing. So they are not able to create anything. Second thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, this is a second challenge. Wala vijitama'u lahu walau. So walau, even though, ijtama'u mean from jama, right? So Urdu speakers know this word very easily, jama. So even though they all get together, meaning you can take help, right? All mankind can take help from each other. Lahu, for it, meaning to make it, to create it. So that is, that is part one. So challenge about creating anything. Second challenge over here in the same ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَإِن يَسْلُبْهُمُ الذُّبَابُ, from salb. Salb mean to snatch something or remove something, right? وَإِن يَسْلُبْهُمُ الذُّبَابُ, and if this zubab, if this fly, take away, snatch, shay'an, anything, right, out of your food or something. La yastankizuhu, you won't be able to recover minhu, from it. This who is referring to again Zubab. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Da'ufu talib. What is talib? Talib meaning the one who wants, right? Again, Urdu speaker, subhanallah, Urdu and Arabic, so many words are taken in Urdu from Arabic. So that's why Urdu speaker has an edge. They can easily understand these words, subhanallah. So at-talibu, the one who is seeking from da'if, is weak. Wal matlub, right? And the one they are seeking from is also weak. Subhanallah. So talib mean, let's say I am thinking that someone can give me something, right? So I am talib, and matlub, the one I am asking, is matlub. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying both are weak. And now let's see, subhanallah, about this fly. What does this fly does? When it says the first part was creation, I'm going to talk about the second part over here, right? So when a fly takes something from your food. So a fly, he said, those who you worship other than me, they do not even have power to create a fly, one thing. Secondly, they don't have even a power to take anything back from this fly if it takes something out of their food. You know, imagine sometimes we go to a store, right, or some restaurant, and they have put some kind of I don't know, some statue, right? And beside that statue they have some food, maybe they have put some apple or something like that, right? And now flies are coming and they are taking some food, right? Maybe if apple is intact, let's say, if they have some loose food, right, or some cut food in front of it, right? So now the fly is taking, and this food is for who? For the idol, right? So the idol does not have even power to take this food back from that fly. Or even if we are eating some food and fly come and sit on our food, we are not able to recover that food. How? What happen when fly sit on a food? It says that fly, unlike other insects, it has two internal and external digestive system. Subhanallah, this small fly has two kind of digestive system. One is internal and the second one is external. We have only internal, right? But this fly has external digestive system as well, which is very unique from other insects. So when it sit on the food, it spit on it, and its spit is whenever when it is going to spit on the food, what happened to the food? It is basically the spit is going to start the digestion, right? And now and then it's gonna eat it, and now internal and external both digestive system are working on her food, right? But the example over here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you won't be able to recover that food, meaning the moment it sit on the food, it has spit on it, and now even though it is same food, but it is not the same food. Subhanallah. and we won't be able to recover it as a regular food. It's not any more regular food anymore. Subhanallah, right? So this is impossible for human to recover that food from this fly. And science had discovered the fact now, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning it 1400 years ago. Right? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba, right? They believed on this fact. And subhanallah, today the science is telling us how true it is. So all these examples, subhanallah, are eye-opener for us, right? So a reflection on the verse that Allah did not choose a mighty animal such as lion or elephant. Instead, he chose one of the smallest and seemingly very insignificant creature to teach us an important lesson. What is the lesson? That no creature is insignificant in Allah's creation. Even the smallest organism displays extraordinary precision and wisdom. A creature that many people ignore or dislike can possess astonishing complexity that humans continue to study. Ibn Kathir and Al-Qurtubi, they says that this verse was revealed in response to those who objected to Allah or Quran Pak mentioning small creature in the Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us the truth that the truth is that it is not diminished by the size of the example. The truth that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists and He is the creator, right? He is the creator of all the creation and how perfect He is. That truth is not diminished by the size of the example. Rather, the example's effectiveness lies in the wisdom behind it. Allah is not embarrassed to use even the smallest creature as an example because every part of His creation manifests His wisdom. The verse therefore reminds believers that greatness is not measured by size. Even a tiny mosquito is a sign of Allah's perfect creation, inviting reflection on His powers, knowledge, and wisdom. Subhanallah. And then it says, Inna Allah la yastahi, Inna Allah la yastahi an yadriba mathalan ma ba'udatan fama fawqaha. Right? Fama fawqaha is also very interesting. This fama fawqaha mean that it could be one literally meaning fawqa mean above. And ha is referring to mosquito. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying He is not shy of giving any example, even mosquito or even whatever over it or on it or above it, right? So it could be seen in three ways. One way is that anything larger than a mosquito. Please mute yourself. Who is that? Anything larger than a mosquito or anything beyond it, whether even smaller or a greater in complexity, or it could be meaning that whatever is above this mosquito, because above this mosquito could be the parasite on his body, right? So even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that He can give even the smaller example, right? Whatever is on his body, the parasite, He can even talk about this parasite. So this is the fawqaha, could be seen in three ways. Then moving on, next part, it says, فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فَيَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ. So the example of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever examples Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, right? So who are going to understand them, right? Only the believers. Only those who have submit completely to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have respect for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for his book, right? They do not have any doubt on this book, right? So only they are the one who are going to take these examples seriously, right? And they do not have any objection or any doubt on these examples. They know that this is the truth, right? Annahul haqu mir rabbihim, that this is the truth from their Rabb, right? So they, even though Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the companions, they didn't understand this example, right, at that time, but they did not raise any objection, right? Because they know that, okay, this is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so this is the truth. So what was their attitude? Sami'na wa atwana. We heard it and we are going to submit it, right? So annahul haqqu min rabbihim. So now there could be two kinds of behaviors. When the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is being mentioned, right? Or an ayah is being mentioned, which is tough on our soul, on our nafs, right? So two kind of attitude going to be seen. One is that people are going to find objection. Why is that so? We are in different times now, right? So that command doesn't make sense. So they are going to criticize, they're going to find excuses. That was the command for the people of the past. Now we cannot apply that today, right? So all these excuses, all these loopholes. And the other attitude is Sami'na wa atwana. So may Allah make us among those that when we hear something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we be the people saying Sami'na wa atwana, right? Because even though sometimes some command is not making sense to us, right? But still we should not open our mouth at all. This is the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is coming from him and we do not have any say about it, right? So that should be our attitude. And then annahul haqqu, this who, as I mentioned before, right? So this who is could be referring to either the example, right? Or it could be referring to Quran. And al-haq could be stand for something that is true, no doubt about it, and something that has a purpose, that has a benefit, that has a lesson in it, right? So all these stand true for this al-haq. So come to the Quran with this conviction that this is completely from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, full of wisdom, full of truth, no doubt about it, right? And then we are going to, inshallah, benefit from this book with this attitude only. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Yudillu bihi kathiran wa yahdi bihi kathira. The same example, the same Quran, right? Someone is going to be misguided by it, the other are going to be guided from it. So, who are going to be misguided? Those who come to the Quran with the intention to find fault in it, to criticize it, to put doubts in the hearts of other people, right? So, people come to the Quran, they understand Arabic language because they want to read Quran. And why they are doing that? Because they want to find faults in it, and then they can spread and misguide other people. That is their intention, right? So how these people can be guided then? Obviously, they are going to be misguided. We know many stories that people come to the Quran with evil intention, right? Their purpose was, their intention was to criticize, but when they go through the Quran, it affected their hearts, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed them with guidance. That also happened, right? I know the story. Someone who is, subhanallah, dean of some university in Middle East, that is the story of that person. He came to the Quran because he wanted to criticize it. He understood Arabic. He was the the person who has PhD in Arabic language, and then he want to criticize Quran. But he said that whenever I get something, right, and he want to criticize on it, he get the answer right there. And then he gave up and he accepted Islam, subhanallah. And on the other hand, I know the story of a woman who was a Muslim. She left Islam after reading Surah Rahman, subhanallah. Surah Rahman. And what was her reasoning? She said that how an entity who claims to be merciful can give such graphic punishment which are mentioned in this surah, right? So that was her mindset. But how we can think that that is done out of mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that all this punishment, right, all the news of hellfire are being mentioned in the Quran Pak. So we take heed from it, we fix our acts, right, and we stay away from such actions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala disprove, right, and we qualify for Jannah. So this is my perception. This is my my mindset, right? So depends how you are taking any ayah or any surah. So subhanallah, this lady just left Islam, and that is the mercy that he, in the same surah, he mentioned the Jannah as well, right? So out of his mercy. And that's why we are advised to seek protection of shaitan before we start reciting Quran Pak, because because shaitan can put some wrong thoughts in our hearts as well, right? So we need to make dua that this book be a guidance for us till our last breath, inshallah. Then Quran is not a book like any other worldly knowledge book, right? Rather, the book, this is the book because this book is full of commands, do's and don'ts, right? So that book demands us that we bring change. And this book inspires us. This book demands from us that we bring change in ourselves. So this book knock on our hearts. So if we open it, then it will settle into our hearts. So it was only Quran who transformed the Makkans, right, who were completely drowned in shirk and many, many, many different kinds of evil, and they felt proud of it. But when Islam came, right, they took a complete whole turn, right? And they qualify to be called radiyallahu anhum waradu an. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased from them and they are pleased from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Only and only because of this Quran it was possible. And who is going to be misguided by it? It says, no one but fasiqeen. And who is fasiq? The one who crossed the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over and over. He sins publicly and feel proud on them. He start liking them, right? That is fasiq. And the more description of fasiq is going to be in the next ayah, which is inshallah next class. So over here, another point is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it says that inna allaha la yastahi, from haya, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not shy. So now we are getting more information about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he shy sometimes, right? So he, what is the shy over here mean? And the hadith says that yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shy. If we are if meaning over here that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even shy sometimes, right? And what is that time that he gonna shy? He says that he shy when his slave raise hands for dua. And what is his shyness about? That he is, if he like something is not good for me, right? So he is going to feel shy to leave me empty-handed. That's why we know that, okay, sometimes we do not, when we make dua, sometimes maybe this thing is not good for me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so shy to leave my hand empty-handed. So he is going to compensate in other way, meaning maybe he is going to take some calamity away from me, which was on my way. So he gonna remove that calamity, or he gonna save the reward of my dua for the akhirah, right? So this is another attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we are learning, that he is shy. And he is shy that he let his abd go empty-handed when he is raising hand and asking him subhanallah. And then haya. Another point about haya is that haya, we know that haya is basically the very important or very basic ingredient of iman, right? This is haya is very important. And haya could be in our speech. It could be modesty in our libas, in our action, right? And this is all, these haya is being loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or being loved by Islam, right? So we need to show haya, we need to have modesty in every in our call, fail, and amal. But showing shyness when it comes to learning deen is displeased, is not liked in our Islam. Because in the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we see that these ladies' companion, they used to ask a question to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even related to periods. They were not shy. Why? Because they were more into that they do not do anything wrong, or they do not want to miss out on ibadah. Sometimes, these days especially, these ladies have these periods problems a lot. They are bleeding longer than they are supposed to, and then they are missing out on their salahs, right? So we should know about what is the hukam about it, right? How long we can take them as a period, and after how long we should start doing our ibadah, our salah, right? Because we should not be in that condition for a long time. So this is very important to know. So in the same way, there can be many other aspects of our life that we need to learn about through our deen. So when comes to learning about deen, we should not be shy about it, right? So this is also an important a side point over here. And then the homework. So inshallah, you are going to memorize word to word ayah number 26, and I would request that please keep revising the previous ayat as well. And I know uh, some of you are memorizing these ayat as well. So as I said, like even last class, if you did not have started the journey yet, you can start, because we can see that how slow we are going, and you can easily catch up on these ayat, subhanallah. And that can be the best opportunity for us to memorize Quran. Uh, and then I also want you to memorize this dua, whatever part we are doing every class, and pronouns. And then the question that why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not shy, giving any example. So you need to do your own reflection on this question, and what should be our attitude when any comment of Quran comes in our way, and who is going to be guided or misguided by Quran, and why. So I want to see your own reflection on these on this homework, inshallah. So I'm going to end over here, but as I said, that I'm going to ask you to recite this dua, whatever we have learned so far. So please raise your hands, and then I'm going to ask you, but let me end the recording over here. So we end our session. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quranil Hakim wa nafani wa iyyakum bi ayati wa zikril Hakim. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa nastaghfiruka wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifuna wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.